Omegle is gone now. But for over a decade, it connected millions of strangers with nothing but a click. No usernames, no profiles, no way to know who was really on the other side of the screen. For most people, it was harmless boredom on a slow night. For the 6 people in this video, it was the beginning of something they never forgot. Stay until the end, because the last story still doesn't have an explanation. Let's get into it. Story 1. The Girl Who Wasn't Real. When Josh was 15, he spent most nights on Omegle because his small town didn't offer much else to do. One night he matched with a girl named Claire, who said she lived 2 towns over. They talked for hours, and within a week, they had exchanged usernames on every app they could think of. Claire was funny and easy to talk to, and Josh started looking forward to their conversations more than he expected to. After a month, he asked if they could video chat. Claire said her camera was broken, but she sent photos instead, always a little blurry, always at odd angles. Josh told himself that was normal for an old phone camera. When he pushed a little harder for a video call, she got upset and accused him of not trusting her. Feeling guilty, he dropped it and told himself he was being paranoid. One night, Claire asked what name he would pick if he had been born a boy. Josh laughed it off, but the question sat with him for days. When he finally got her on a call weeks later, the face that appeared was not Claire's. It was a man in his 20s, sitting in a dark room, smiling like he had been waiting for that exact moment. Josh ended the call immediately and never heard from Claire again. To this day, he still wonders how many other people were talking to her. Story 2. The Note on the Door. Megan was 17 and home alone doing homework when she decided to open Omegle out of pure boredom. She matched with a man who told her to keep talking or he would leave. Trying to be funny, she refused and asked what exactly he thought he could do about it. He typed a single line back, telling her she should be more careful, and disconnected. She closed her laptop and went back to her homework, and for a while, she genuinely believed nothing would come of it. Then her dog started barking outside and would not stop. She checked the yard and saw nothing, so she called her dad, who told her to lock the doors and that he would look around when he got home. Half an hour later, something hit her back door. When she opened it, there was a rock sitting on the porch with a note taped to it. The note said, "I know where you live." Her house had a locked gate with a 4-foot fence around the back, the kind of barrier a stranger should not have been able to get past without effort. She called the police that night, but by the time they arrived, whoever left the note was long gone. Story 3. Followed from the park. 2 best friends, Dylan and Marcus, were both 15 and spent a Friday night home alone playing video games. Bored after a few hours, they opened Omegle looking for a laugh and matched with 2 girls who claimed to live in the same city. The girls said they had no working microphone, so the whole conversation happened through typing. After a while, they said Dylan and Marcus were cute and asked if they wanted to meet up sometime. Dylan handed over his username on another app, and the girls vanished from the chat within seconds. An hour later, one of them messaged him a photo taken on a street corner nearby, asking if they wanted to meet at the park. Dylan said no. Marcus, feeling bolder, said he wanted to go anyway, and after enough back and forth, Dylan agreed to walk with him just to keep an eye on things. The park was empty when they arrived. No girls, no messages, nothing but silence. As they turned to leave, they noticed a man standing behind a tree, watching them with an expression neither of them could explain away as friendly. They ran. The man grabbed Dylan's arm near the entrance, and it was only the sudden arrival of a passing police car that made him let go and disappear into the dark. The girls' accounts were never found again, and neither boy ever figured out if they had existed at all. Story 4. The camera was always on. Sam was 13 when she matched with a stranger who claimed to be the same age. He asked personal questions right away, and something about the pace of it felt wrong, but she stayed in the chat anyway because she didn't want to seem rude. When he asked her to show more of herself on camera, she refused, and his tone shifted from friendly to threatening almost instantly. He told her he had been recording the entire conversation and played it back to her, proof that nothing she did in that chat had ever been private. Then came the demand, and when she refused again, he warned her that he would use what he had recorded to make something far worse. Sam left the chat in tears and eventually told a family member who insisted she report it to the police. An officer came to her house that night, but there was little that could actually be done since no crime had technically been completed, only threatened. Sam spent months afterward jumping at notifications, wondering if the recordings would ever surface. They never did, but the fear of that possibility followed her long after the laptop was closed. Story 5. The Man in the Complex. At 16, Rachel and her friend Priya were killing time near a shopping complex close to Rachel's house when a man approached and asked if they had a lighter. They said no, and he walked off. 15 minutes later, he returned and sat down uncomfortably close to Priya. That was when Rachel noticed his hand moving inside his pocket, and her stomach dropped. She quietly texted Priya what she was seeing while pretending to still be on a call. The man asked Priya if her friend's name was a specific name he seemed to already know, which neither girl had ever told him. A security guard eventually walked by, made a joke about the two of them hanging out with the girls, and walked off without noticing anything wrong. You would think an adult in uniform might have picked up on it, but he didn't. A second man joined and invited them inside the building. The girls declined and started walking away as fast as they could without breaking into a full run, then broke into one anyway once they were out of sight. They didn't stop until they reached Rachel's house and locked every door behind them. The next morning, Rachel had a message from the same account claiming to know exactly which street she lived on. Story 6. Still waiting. This last one still doesn't sit right with the people who lived through it. A group of teenagers thought it would be funny to tell strangers on Omegle that they had kids locked in a basement. Purely as a shock joke, none of them expected anyone to take seriously. Most strangers disconnected immediately, unbothered or unwilling to engage. Then they matched with someone who asked, calmly, how the kids in the basement were doing. They disconnected and reconnected, assuming it was a coincidence or someone else entirely. The next stranger's first message referenced the exact same joke, word for word, as if the site itself had looped them back to the same person. They tried again, and the message that greeted them read, "I'm still here, and I'm still waiting for your answer." No one at the table was laughing anymore. They shut the laptop and didn't touch Omegle again for weeks. To this day, none of them can explain how a stranger seemed to follow them through multiple new connections on a platform that was supposed to be completely random. Maybe it was a coincidence, maybe it wasn't. Either way, they never found out who it was. If any of these stories gave you chills, let us know which one stuck with you the most in the comments. And if you have your own Omegle story, we might feature it in a future video. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.